Importing custom indicators. I've had a request for this specific indicator. It's from the market. And when you open up the data window, there's no buffer values. So in a case like this, I would add buffers myself in fxDreema to see if I can access some sort of signal. This works the same way for EX5 or EX4s, either for MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. So to import this custom indicator, you would go you would basically open up the properties of the indicator and go to the Inputs tab. I like to do this side by side, it just makes it easier. And then all you have to do is just copy over everything is in this window into the other window. And as you can see, there's been some changes since the update. The icons look a bit different. And this is a string. This is a integer. This is color. This is a bool. I don't know what the icon looks like for doubles, but you'll probably figure it out yourself. First one is a string. Type in string. In this case, there's nothing in the name of the variable. I just put settings. You can't leave it blank. fxDreema doesn't like anything that has blanks in it or where you've got the same name for a data type for a input. String, integer, integer, string, string, integer, integer, string. Make sure it's all small letters. Do not misspell it. I know fxDreema had some bugs with you misspelling something when you try to import an indicator and it creates a mess. You have to end up renaming the indicator to be able to import it. What was the other issue? Yes, you have to rename it, but another other issue is with renaming it, some indicators doesn't like being renamed as well. So you end up not being able to use that indicator at all. I don't know if this has been fixed yet. Okay, so in this case, there's nothing in the buffer, there's one. And if you change the color of this buffer, nothing appears in the window, but at least it appears that there's at least one buffer. So what I've done is I've imported the indicator. I have gone to the output buffer section and I've added 5 buffers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then what I've done is create draw text blocks. To probe and see what I can get from those buffers. So draw text block, this block can create 102 bar saying no. The coordinates starts 10 pixels by 10 pixels from the top left. Select your output buffer 1, candle ID, and then update. Okay, so that's buffer 1, this is buffer 2, same thing, just move it down by 20 pixels. The font size is 10, so I'll just move it down by 10 at a time. This is buffer 2. This is buffer 3, buffer 4, buffer 5. And 50 pixels down on buffer 5. Okay, and this, let's see the test. Load up the test. And there you go, on the top left hand side, you've got some buffer values. You can see buffer 0 and buffer 1 is showing something. Okay, so buffer 0 and buffer 1. And if we fast forward it, see what happens with these numbers here. The top one is obviously an invisible that goes visible when the indicator appears. There, now it's switched from 1 to 0. Then it switched to 1 on the red. So red is obviously down and blue is up. So red would be 1 and blue would be 0. 0 up, 1 down. And then see if I can catch what the number changes on the... Oh, that changes to a 1. And that changes to a 0. So both of these change to a 0 when a blue indicator appears, and both of these change to a 1 when the red indicator appears. And that's basically how I would import this type of indicator. And I have to mention, if it is a market indicator, you go to your markets folder and you select that indicator that you have downloaded from the market, right click it, copy it, go to your default directory for the indicators, paste it in there. I've already done that. So, but anyway, anything you download from the market that you want to use in fxDreema, it's easier just to download it into this default root directory for the indicators instead of having it in the folder. If you do want to use indicators from a folder and keep it in those folders, you're going to have to you're going to have to edit it here. So if you want to use a custom indicator from a different directory, for instance, you want to use your market indicators from the market folder instead of copying it to the root folder. You can just add that subfolder in the path. So in this case, market / and then the indicator. And then when you do the test, you'll also see that it loads from market when you do the test. If this is the way you prefer on running your test or using your indicators, you can do that. I mean, there's times where I have a whole bunch of indicators and I try to somehow organize it by separating it in folders. And we know this that just the first two buffers work, so 0 and 1 works. Update. Okay. Reload. See if we've got any errors. Reload. And the errors are gone. This might just be an easy way if you want to keep those indicators separated. I've got it in both folders, so let's do a quick test. You have to change it here again. You'll see the folder, the subfolder is now gone. And then, yes, so markets is gone and it's running from the root indicators folder. And that's basically how you load your custom indicator.